So, Marius, at last I find you.
Tyrael, yes. Yes, now I recognize you. I should have known you'd travel in disguise. They're always watching.
I've been searching for you for a long time, Marius. I was rather beginning to think you didn't want to be found.
Oh, forgive me, Tyrael, please. It wasn't my fault.
Not your fault. Tell me, Marius, how was it not your fault?
The Wanderer. Yes, it was the Wanderer. My days in the Rogue Citadel seemed so long ago. I sought refuge from my memories in the company of other outcasts, high in the mountains past the Eastern Gate. Sleep for days at a time. For when I dreamt, the memories would return. Memories of the monastery and the evil which had claimed it. Dreams, memories. I couldn't tell the difference anymore. Had the evil from my dreams followed me at my heels? How had he found me here? How could this broken shell of a man, barely able to carry the weight of his own sword, be the burning terror which drove me to hide here? He seemed to have demons of his own. He struggled to contain. And he was losing. As I watched, I became convinced that I was truly mad. The terror, the destruction, the evil I witnessed. How else could I explain them? Were these the demons from my dream, or were they born within the Wanderer? Why did I follow him? I don't know. Why do things happen as they do in dreams? All I know is that when he beckoned, I had to follow him. And from that moment, we traveled together, east. Always. Into the east.
Oh, greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind here. Many adventurers have traveled this way since the recent troubles began. No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town of Tristram. Well, some say that Diablo, the Lord of Terror, walks the world again. I don't know if I believe that, but a dark wanderer did travel this route a few weeks ago. He was headed east to the mountain pass guarded by the rogue monastery. Maybe it's nothing, but evil seems to have trailed in his wake. You see, shortly after the wanderer went through, the monastery's gates to the pass were closed, and strange creatures began ravaging the countryside. Until it's safer outside the camp and the gates are reopened, I'll remain here with my caravan. I hope to leave for Lutga Lane before the shadow that fell over Tristram consumes us all. If you're still alive then, I'll take you along. You should talk to Akara, too. She seems to be the leader of this camp. Maybe she can tell you more. I'll gladly take you eastward, if you can drive the evil from the monastery. Then the rogues may reopen the pass through the mountains.
I am Akara, High Priestess of the Sisterhood of the Sightless Eye. I welcome you, traveler, to our camp. But I'm afraid I can offer you but poor shelter within these rickety walls. You see, our ancient sisterhood has fallen under a strange curse. The mighty citadel, from which we have guarded the gates to the east for generations, has been corrupted by the evil demoness Andariel. I still can't believe it, but she turned many of our sister rogues against us and drove us from our ancestral home. Now the last defenders of the Sisterhood are either dead or scattered throughout the wilderness. I implore you, stranger, please help us. Find a way to lift this terrible curse, and we will pledge our loyalty to you for all time. There is a place of great evil in the wilderness. Kasha's rogue scouts have informed me that a cave nearby is filled with shadowy creatures and horrors from beyond the grave. I fear that these creatures are massing for an attack against our encampment. If you are sincere about helping us, find the dark labyrinth and destroy the foul beasts. May the Great Eye watch over you. I should add that many rogue scouts have died in that horrible place. We cannot afford to lose any more. If you choose to enter that den of evil, you must do so alone. Beware that you do not suffer the fate of the corrupted rogues. To lose one's life is a tragedy, but to lose one's soul is even worse.
Welcome, Outlander, to our glorious hovel. I know you're here to challenge the evil that's driven us from our ancestral home. But know this, Akara may be our spiritual leader, but I command the rogues in battle. It will take more than just killing a few beasts in the wilderness to earn my trust. In this camp, those of us who have remained true to our order are forced to live among common traders and farm animals. Welcome to our circle of suffering. The demons in that cave have claimed many of my finest archers. I wonder how you will fare.
Good day to you, partner. I'm Geed, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp. A spare weapon, some gold, a small gem is all I want in exchange for the equipment you'll need on whatever quest you might undertake. No, don't be shy. All of my items are guaranteed for life and come with a 2-day warranty. Akara and Kasha are sisters in the Order of the Sightless Eye, but they are worlds apart. Akara is a slow river of magic, Kasha, a viper of war. They're both deeply devoted to their religious order, yet the corruption of their sisters pains them both to no end. You're a brave soul. I'd sooner thrust my sacred scepter into the foulest carbuncular troll than set one boot into that cave.
Hi there, I'm Charcy, the blacksmith here in camp. It's good to see some strong adventurers around here. Many of our sisters fought bravely against Diablo when he first attacked the town of Tristram. They came back to us true veterans, bearing some really powerful items. Seems like their victory was short-lived, though. Most of them are now corrupted by Andariel. Warreeve's all right, I guess. He seems too serious most of the time. I haven't really talked to him all that much. The beasts from the cave have begun to roam throughout the countryside. You'd better be careful out there.
So, this is where evil hides. Is that all of them?
My rogue scouts have just reported an abomination in the monastery graveyard. Apparently, Andariel is not content to take only our living. Bloodraven, one of our finest captains in the battle against Diablo at Tristram, was also one of the first to be corrupted by Andariel. Now you'll find her in the monastery graveyard, raising our dead as zombies. We cannot abide this defilement. If you are truly our ally, you will help us destroy her. Death has done nothing to weaken Bloodraven's combat skills. If anything, she's more deadly than ever.
You have cleansed the den of evil. You've earned my trust, and may yet restore my faith in humanity. Your reward is training in the skill of your choice. Even though the corrupted ones were once of our order, you need not shy from slaying them, for they stand between you and Andariel. Perhaps when the Demon Queen is dead, our sisters will return to life, but more likely, they will be forever bound to their unholy pact.
How can one kill what is already dead? That which does not kill you makes you stronger.
The only good demon is a dead one, I say. By the way, did you happen to find anything in that cave you'd like to sell? I'm sorry, the undead are bad for trade. I have a strict no-return policy.
Oh, I like Geed. He's very funny. He has all sorts of interesting stories from the places he's been. I wish I could see the sights he has. You are truly brave and skillful. Akara was worried about you. Bloodraven was the leader of a rogue band that once fought Diablo at Tristram.
Beware. Beyond lies mortal danger for the likes of you. Take care. The corrupted rogues in the wilderness ahead are not to be trifled with.
Join my army of the dead.
Your time is past, Bloodraven.
I can hardly believe that you've defeated Bloodraven. Though she was once my closest friend, I pray that her tortured spirit remains banished forever. You have earned my respect, stranger, and the allegiance of the rogues. I have placed several of my best warriors at your disposal.
It is clear that we are facing an evil difficult to comprehend, let alone combat. There is only one Haradrim sage, schooled in the most arcane history and lore, who could advise us. His name is Deckard Cain. You must go to Tristram and find him, my friend. I pray that he still lives.
You've done well, stranger. I hope all your efforts are worth it. Months ago, I came across a few survivors from Tristram. They said that Cain had gone half-mad and could no longer distinguish fact from fantasy.
Some of those gals weren't so nice the first time around. That old coot Cain is as crazy as a wet quill rat. I hear he survived whatever happened in Tristram. Personally, I wouldn't trust a thing he has to say. I would sooner micturate in a tankard of my own ale than journey to Tristram.
If you bring back the bark of Iniphis, Akara will tell you how to get to Tristram. Oh, Kasha's fantastic. Sure, she's a little hard on outsiders, but who can blame her? All she wants is to protect our order. But now that our sisters have turned against us, I think this whole mess has hardened her heart.
This dead tree teems with energy.
Ah, very good. I have translated the runes on this scroll. You must find the cairnstones and touch them in the order that I have written.
Perhaps Tristram deserved its fate for letting evil loose upon the land. I only hope we don't suffer the same. If we could only find out how Andariel has managed to corrupt our sisters, then perhaps we could drive out the evil clouding their minds. Deckard Cain has crucial knowledge about the evils we face. You must find him.
It is too dangerous to travel to Tristram. I won't be leaving here until the way is clear. Better an empty pocket than a full grave. It's easy to become lost in the wilderness on the way to the Citadel. After you have come to the cairnstones, you must remember that the path continues through the caves.
Guess what? I've named a boil on my ass after you. It too bothers me every time I sit down. I'm told that Tristram now resembles a mead hall after a barbarian wedding. I will wait here for your most glorious return.
I don't know why some of my sisters chose to follow Andariel. Those who strayed were among our finest warriors. I have heard that Tristram is now in ruins. Without Cain, I fear for the ruin of all of us.
Help!
Deckard Cain, leave this place.
Again, you amaze me, Outlander. The Sisterhood is grateful to you for delivering Cain to us. I believe Akara has something to tell you.
You have risked your life to rescue Cain. For that, we thank you. We must seek his counsel immediately. I understand that Cain is the last descendant of the ancient Horodrim, and that his knowledge of their lore is vast. He could prove to be very useful in discerning the nature of our current crisis.
As a token of my gratitude, I will identify items for you at no charge. Regrettably, I could do nothing to prevent the disaster which devastated Tristram. It would appear that our greatest fears have come to pass. Diablo, the Lord of Terror, has once again been set loose upon the world. As you know, some time ago, Diablo was slain beneath Tristram, and when our hero emerged triumphant from the labyrinth beneath town, we held a grand celebration that lasted several days. Yet, as the weeks passed, our hero became increasingly aloof. He kept his distance from the rest of the townsfolk and seemed to lapse into a dark, brooding depression. I thought that perhaps his ordeal had been so disturbing that he simply could not put it out of his mind. The hero seemed more tormented every passing day. I remember he awoke many times, screaming in the night, always something about the East. One day he simply left, and shortly thereafter Tristram was attacked by legions of foul demons. Many were slain, and the demons left me to die in that cursed cage. I believe now that Tristram's hero was that dark wanderer who passed this way before the monastery fell. I fear even worse, my friend. I fear that Diablo has taken possession of the hero who sought to slay him. If true, Diablo will become more powerful than ever before. You must stop him, or all will be lost.
I don't really know anything about Cain. He seems to have a lot of secrets. That makes me nervous. Akara, our priestess and seer, is most upset by the corruption of our sisters. I fear that she blames herself.
Ah, Cain is here. Another customer. I haven't been this pleased since a love-starved maiden let down a bit more than her hair.
And so it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried alive, and her castle, in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Rising over the buried dungeons in that god-forsaken wilderness, a solitary tower, like some monument to evil, is all that remains. The Countess's fortune was believed to be divided among the clergy, although some say that more remains unfound, still buried alongside the rotting skulls that bear mute witness to the inhumanity of the human creature.
There is no more I can tell you about that ancient tower.
Quickly in and quickly out is all the advice I can give you.
I can smell why this tower was abandoned.
Here for a bloodbath? Your blood will boil.
This tower has its charms.
Well done, my friend. Courage and opportunity together have created in you a kind of alchemy.
I thought the stories of treasure in the tower were nothing but lies. I am glad you found something of value in that death trap. Would that our sisters had been so fortunate.
Remember, wealth is as insubstantial as a cloud and passes as quickly. Ignore Geed. All that twitters is not bold.
Warreeve's advice is like corpse gas. It befouls the air for a moment, and then it disappears. Charcy is a fine girl, but she has no business savvy. I know she means well, but the prices she charges for weapons and armor will never earn her a profit. As long as I keep filling her mind with stories of adventure, she'll never catch on to the fact that I'm raking in gold hand over fist.
Those riches will serve you well on the long road ahead. When I fled the monastery, I left behind the Herodric Malice, my enchanted smithing hammer. If you can retrieve it for me, I'll use its magic to strengthen your equipment. The monastery can confuse even those who know it well. Stay alert in there.
Warreeve was kind enough to let me travel with his caravan, but don't let him drag you into a search for a new eastern trade route. I'm making a fortune right here. Yeah, from the rogues, of course. You, on the other hand, always get my best prices. Charcy talks of nothing anymore but this Herodric Malice. Between you and her, my ears need a rest. Just find it and bring it back quickly.
Charcy seems to be a very sweet girl. She's the smith around here and can help you by trading weapons and armor. Just as an archer needs bow and arrow, or a draftsman pen and paper, so Charcy needs the Herodric Malice with which to ply her trade.
The Malice was forged and enchanted by the ancient Herodric mages during the Sin Wars. When their union dissolved, the Malice was entrusted to the Sisterhood, guarding the pass into the east.
Charcy is wasting her time and talents using an inferior hammer. Had she the Herodric Malice, she could make the steel sing and craft you a suit of armor as impenetrable as the Great Eye.
The retrieval of the Herodric Malice is not without risk. Our monastery is filled with voracious hellspawn. You'd best be careful, my friend.
I shall make weapons from your bones!
Charcy will be thankful to get this malice.
Oh, thanks so much for returning the Herodric Malice. I will now imbue one of your items with magical powers. Oh, Kasha's fantastic. Sure, she's a little hard on outsiders, but who can blame her? All she wants is to protect our order. Send Andariel back to the hell she came from.
It is certain that we face the Demon Queen, Andariel, who has corrupted the Rogue Sisterhood and defiled their ancestral monastery. This does not bode well for us, my friend. Ancient Herodric texts record that Andariel and the other lesser evils once overthrew the three prime evils, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal, banishing them from hell to our world. Here they caused mankind untold anguish and suffering before they were finally bound within the Soul Stones. Andariel's presence here could mean that the forces of hell are once again aligned behind Diablo and his brothers. If this is true, then I fear for us all. You must kill her before the monastery becomes a permanent outpost of hell, and the way east lost forever. Diablo is heading east for some foul purpose, and the only passage east is through the monastery gate. Obviously, Diablo summoned Andariel to block any pursuit. For her part, Andariel hopes to win Diablo's favor. The lesser demons are always vying for positions of power within the unholy hierarchy.
I can imagine 1,000 different ways to kill Andariel. You need only choose one.
Charcy is young and innocent. However, I believe her barbarian blood thrills to the prospect of adventure and danger. She takes great pride in her work and finds comfort in the fact that her weapons and armor are helping to end this evil plague. Andariel has desecrated all we hold dear. She must not be permitted to serve Diablo. Destroy her. The corruption of our order must be undone.
The mapmakers tell us the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Our way east is a line that runs through Andariel's stronghold, the monastery.
You're going after Andariel? One of my wagon wheels is in need of repair. I'll be under the wagon if I'm needed.
I sense it. The supernatural is strong here.
Fear me. Die, maggot. The east is beyond your grasp. Die, maggot. Die, maggot. The east is beyond your grasp. Die, maggot.
Andariel, your reign is over.
I'm gonna party like it's $9.99.
Finally, we may rejoice. We owe you a debt we can never repay. I only hope that in time, we will be able to rebuild our order. All our thanks go with you, my friend.
You'll probably go east now. It was good to know you. I hope you'll come back if you ever need anything.
Andariel's death brings about renewed life for us all. We mourn the loss of our dear sisters, but at least now we can get on with our lives. I may have misjudged you, Outlander. You are a true hero, and testament to the noble spirit which has inspired our order for generations. Farewell, my friend.
This is a great victory indeed, but many more battles await. I will accompany you on your journey, lending what assistance I can. Remember, Diablo is still out there, seeking something in the desert. I'm afraid that this nightmare will not end until you find what it is that he seeks. Long ago, the Soul Stones were given to the Horadrim by the Archangel Tyrael. They were used to bind the 3 prime evils. I now know that even these holy artifacts were no match for Diablo's power. I hope that his 2 brothers are more securely held, but I fear the worst.
The caravan is prepared. We may now journey eastward to Lut Gholein.
We traveled east, over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken lands. As the days passed, my companion told me of himself, that he had once been a great warrior, and that a dark and secret burden now weighed heavily upon him. We traveled for an eternity across that arid wasteland. How long? I couldn't say. And always, a dark cloud seemed to follow us just over the horizon. Finally, the journey ended. We climbed the last bridge. There below us lay our destination. The shining jewel, Loot Lane, with a great sea beyond. We made camp that last night. Perhaps it was the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean, but for the first time in many weeks, I slept. However, the dreams returned, but these were clearly not my own. I beheld a vision of a great man, the mage, Talrasha. You were there too, Tyrael. I remember seeing you in my dream. His brethren had cornered a great demon, Baal, Lord of Destruction, who had been set loose upon the world. They attempted to imprison the demon within a sacred stone. Yet when their attempts failed, Talrasha selflessly volunteered to contain the demon within himself, completing the prison. He instructed his brethren to bind him within a tomb, buried under the sand, there to wrestle with the demon for all eternity.
Now you know what I seek, Marius. This is my brother. Sleep now. We set out with the dawn.
The next morning, we walked over the hill toward Loot Lane. I had no idea then of the horrors that were in store for me there.
Greetings, honored traveler. I am Jaren, Lord of Loot Lane, and I bid you welcome to my fair port city. I am glad to know that once again, caravans are free to travel through the Western Pass. For some time now, we have been under siege by an evil power that I cannot identify. Strange, it all began when a dark wanderer came this way, looking for the tomb of Talrasha. No one knows exactly where Talrasha, keeper of Baal, is entombed, but it is certain to be far out in the desert. Now my people whisper tales of the dead rising from their tombs, and horrible creatures lurking amongst the moonlit dunes. Even I have witnessed things which I cannot explain. I've ordered the port closed and all trade ships moored until I am sure that my city is safe. Atma, the tavern keeper, has an important mission for you. Go see her immediately. You'll find her on the other side of town. Now I must return to the palace. I apologize, but I can't invite you in. Things are rather a mess right now. To any who aid me in the defense of Loot Lane, I pledge my support. Passage east, wealth, honor, all are due to those who help my city. For trade in magic and the like, see Drognin or Lysander. Drognin is the wisest man I know, without equal in magic and ancient lore. Poor Lysander is nearly deaf, but he's a reliable potion chemist. For travel back west, see Wariv, whom you already know. Our own Farah is a fine and honest armorer, and she can heal wounds as well. Elzix is the innkeeper, and may also have some items to trade. Grays, the mercenary captain I hired to secure the gates of Loot Lane, keeps order in town as well. There are others here too. I'm sure you'll meet most of them. Just look around.
Halt! You may not pass.
I don't expect this of you, but if you want to help me, I would be grateful. In the sewers below our city, there lurks a horrid creature that hungers for human flesh. The creature has killed many, including my son and my husband. If you destroy it, I will reward you. Please, be careful though. That beast has taken enough from us already. The sewer entrance is through the trapdoor, just up the street. Evil has laid siege to Lut Gholein, and you may be our last hope. The creature makes its lair in the tunnels beneath the city. He butchered my husband and son. I simply cannot bear to talk about it.
Hey, don't touch my drink, or I'll bore a hole into your skull with my thumb. I don't know why you people keep pestering me. Grays seems to have this place locked down nice and tight. Not that I couldn't have done the same. I've proven my valor in combat plenty of times. There are some ancient tombs out there in the desert. You have to go pretty far to find them, though. Rumor has it that they are crawling with walking corpses now. Shit. As if the saber cats and claw vipers weren't bad enough. There is something about Farah that troubles me. Her manner is strange for a lonely desert maid. The Horadrim used to mummify their highest mages and infuse them with spells that would allow them to protect their tombs, even after death. I have no idea why one of them would be acting so malevolently. Perhaps Drognan or Farah would know more about this.
I've heard that you are responsible for banishing Andariel back to the burning hells. I'm impressed, stranger. That couldn't have been easy. My name is Drognan, and I know what you're up against, my friend. You ought to look over my inventory of items for trade. When the recent troubles began, Lord Jaren came seeking my counsel. I advised him to close the port and put the town under strict watch. Lately, though, he's been occupied within the palace. I doubt his whores could divert him from his civic duties for this long, though. Farah and I have been talking about the creature recently. From my studies, I have deduced that it is Radamant the Fallen, an ancient Horadric mummy that has for some reason left his tomb to prey on mortals. I'm doing some more research now. If you check back later, I may have some more insight as to his nature.
I know much about the ancient religions. I was trained as a paladin of Zakarum in the Eastern Koras Temple many years ago. Meshif is an honest man as far as I can tell. He has never pestered me about my past. I believe that the creature you refer to is one of the ancient Horadric mummies from the tombs that lie buried beneath the desert sands. It is unusual for one of his kind to be so far away from his resting place. I sense in this entity a restless and malevolent spirit.
Greetings. I'm Meshif, captain of this ship here. I make port runs around the Twin Seas and occasionally out to Kingsport in Westmarch. I haven't sailed anywhere lately, though. Jaren has ordered me to stay docked here in case of emergency. There are 2 entrances to the sewers, I believe. One of them is right near here, down by the water beneath the docks. I can see it from my ship, and you can bet I keep an eye on it every night. Oh, I've known Elzix for years. He always offers me a free room at his inn when I dock here, but I prefer the comforts of my own cabin.
Now that Andariel is dead, I can return and outfit the rogues properly. Once I've made some trades here, I'll be free to head back to their monastery. Let me know if you want to travel along. Jaren has his father's strength and wits. He's young, but he rules this place with wisdom and care. I think he'll grow into a fine sultan, provided we all survive this crisis. I've heard tales of walking corpses out in the desert at night, though I've never actually seen one.
How do I know I can trust you, hmm? You may be as shifty as that pack rat Elzix who runs the inn. But if you need a potion, though, I suppose I can make you one. For a price, of course. There are some ancient enchanted fountains in the desert that can heal you wounds, if you drink enough from them. I hear that beast is after body parts. Does he eat them? Ugh, ghastly.
I'll bet you wonder how this town manages to stay safe with all the trouble going on out in the desert. Well, I can tell you that it's got nothing to do with the local town guards. They're all in the palace for some reason. Jaren hired me and my mercenaries to help keep the peace around here. We're not cheap, but we're the best this wasteland has to offer. Mashif has sailed all around the southern seas and visited many strange lands. Must be driving him mad having to stay anchored here. I've personally found some of that devil's victims washed up out of the sewer. Often they are missing limbs or a head, and their bodies have always been skinned. At first, the creature raided the town at night. That's how Atma lost her family. Now we've got him barricaded in the sewers. You're safe up here on the surface, but every now and again, some fool wants to be a hero and heads down to the waste tunnels with a pig sticker.
You look like a sturdy adventurer. You know, I used to be quite the scoundrel in my day. I led the fiercest group of bandits who ever terrorized these sands. Nowadays, I run this here inn and pretty much stay out of trouble. My days of adventuring are behind me. We've all fared well under Jaren's leadership. The town has remained safe throughout this whole mess. And yet the lad still seems very upset about something. What tales Drognan can tell. You would do well to listen carefully to that wizened wizard. I hear that the creature kills his victims in order to hack off their limbs. I guess that makes me a less likely candidate, eh?
Rudiment, return to dust.
Ah, the lost Horodric scroll. What a fortunate turn of events. As the last living Horodrim, I alone have knowledge of its meaning. Now, to read the Horodric runes it bears. The Horodric mages, after binding Bale within Tal Rasha, magically sealed off his burial chamber from the mortal realm. Those same mages also crafted fearsome Horodric staves, and imbued them with the special power to open the chamber's hidden door. After nearly losing one to the thievery of a rogue sorcerer, they divided all the Horodric staves into two parts, wooden shaft and metal headpiece, hiding them separately to safeguard them. The Horodrim foresaw our current plight and designed the hiding places to reveal themselves to worthy heroes like you. Collect both parts of a Horodric staff and unite them using a Horodric cube. Then you may enter Tal Rasha's burial chamber. If you haven't already, Tell Atma that Rhodamant is dead. It may help to ease the weight of her mourning. Mischief is an interesting man. Part of him longs for the freedom of the open seas, yet his heart belongs in his homeland.
They say that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet, but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have spoken on your behalf with the rest of the townspeople. The merchants have agreed to show their gratitude by offering their wares and services at lower rates. Oh, Jaren wants to see you too. You'll find him in front of the palace. Elsix and I have reached an understanding over the years. He sends travelers to me for drink and entertainment, and I send them back to him for a soft bed. The travelers often trade their wares for lodging.
Whoa, whoa. Rhodamant the Fallen, is it? I've fallen off many a bar stool. No one calls me Geglash the Fallen. They might go so far as to say, Geglash, you've fallen. Have you found those big sand maggots yet? Arrows and all that don't work so well against them. Best thing is just to hack them with a sword or such.
Good job, mate. At night out on my ship, I was often awakened by that fiend's awful moaning. I'll bet I rest easier now. The Lady Farah has a proud, noble air about her. Grays seems to be a dependable fellow. I hope he can handle it if those things in the desert decide to attack this town.
Atma is a good, loving woman, but I fear she will succumb to her despair and hatred. As you have helped Atma and all of us, so shall I help you.
Drognin? Oh, he's a good friend of mine. I help him find exotic spell components in alchemical books from time to time. I think he used to be a sorcerer of great renown, but he doesn't like to talk about his past.
From what you tell me, it would seem that Rhodamant was bent on the task of reviving his own mummified corpse with the flesh of the living. This is very unusual indeed. It takes an incredible magic power to alter the singular purpose of an undead mind. Perhaps there is a power at work here, which is beyond my ken. Mashif and his vessel should remain here, lest we risk taking demonic stowaways to other lands.
You've killed Rhodamant, eh? That's quite a nice piece of work. If you ever need a job as a mercenary, I'd be happy to sign you up. We're keeping the town safe and tight, but I've got a hunch there's something Jaren's not telling us.
Atma. Now there's a fine woman. Lately, though, she's only thinking about revenge. She has reason enough. We ran into one of those old tomb guardians when I ran with my bandits. I know they aren't easy foes to face, so you sure have my respect. Have you told Atma yet?
Atma's been telling everyone what you've done for her. There used to be a lot of brothels here. I guess the trouble scared all the women away. Or maybe they're safe in Jaren's palace.
Mashif is an honorable man, but I fear that he is growing impatient with me about impounding his ship. I dare not tell him what's really happening in this city. I have heard of your many deeds of skill and bravery. I feel I can trust you with something I have been hesitant to speak of. Drognin and I have concluded that the Dark Wanderer who passed through here recently was Diablo himself. Drognin believes that Diablo is searching the desert for the secret tomb where the great Horadric mage Tal Rasha keeps Baal imprisoned. You must find Diablo and put an end to the terrible evil that has fallen upon our city. Drognin is wise and is sure to have some helpful advice for you as to how Tal Rasha's tomb may be found. It may take you quite some time to find the tomb. May you be ready when you do.
Strange. An unexpected eclipse. Oh no, snakes. I hate snakes. Ah, yes. The sun warms the world once more. Greetings, my friend. Have you spoken to Jaren yet? He's quite a remarkable leader for being such a young man. Then again, the old blood has always run strong in this land. The Viper amulet you bear is actually the headpiece of a Horadric staff. Yes, you have an uncanny knack for finding rare and valuable artifacts. Of course, you'll have to use a Horadric cube to combine the headpiece with the shaft. You have quite a treasure there in that Horadric cube. According to Horadric lore, the cube can restore a Horadric staff. To do it, use the cube as you would a scroll. When the cube opens, place both pieces of the staff into it and use the cube's transmute power. You'll be pleased to know that the cube has other alchemical uses as well. 6 gems plus 1 sword transmute into a socketed longsword. You may also transmute 2 quivers of crossbow bolts into 1 quiver of arrows, while 2 quivers of arrows yield 1 quiver of bolts. I must leave it to you to discover other formulae. Diablo nears his goal. We have little time to lose. Remember, my friend, that Andariel gave herself willingly to Diablo's cause. It would be prudent to assume that the other evils will attempt to aid their master as well. Ilzix is quite a scoundrel, but I like him all the same. I've been speaking with Lord Jaren, and I sense that he is becoming more and more agitated by something. You should try to talk to him again. If he still won't take you into his confidence, seek to prove yourself a bit more. I gather that his respect for you is growing.
Wariv may not remember me, but I helped him out when I was a young paladin. There's no need for me to remind him. The rewards for honor will not come in this life. Legend has it that Tal Rasha lies imprisoned within his tomb, forever struggling to keep the Lord of Destruction bound. His was a selfless act, although perhaps foolhardy.
So, did you plunder any booty? Wareve is a good friend. We've shared many tales, he and I. If we had it all to do over again, I believe we'd both be explorers of some renown. I'm sorry, I can't help you much here. Now, if the tombs were across the ocean, then I'd be the guy to talk to.
You have done well to restore light to our world. I've heard legends of the tomb of Tal Rasha, but I thought they were just old tales meant to scare young children.
Sure, I hear lots of what goes on. Did you hear about the harem guilds? They were the only ones allowed to hide out in the palace when the raids started. It figures. So this is daylight. It's overrated. Oh, I'd go with you to those tombs, but, I don't like all that living dead stuff.
You did well in destroying the Claw Vipers. We are all glad to see the sun return to its former glory. Tal Rasha's tomb is hidden deep in the desert among 6 others. Tal Rasha's symbol marks the true tomb. If you want to know what that symbol is, you should be able to find it within the legendary Arcane Sanctuary. I've been researching the old records, trying to find the location of Tal Rasha's tomb. Though I haven't found the tomb itself, I may have a good lead for you. The great Viserai summoner, Horizon, built his arcane sanctuary somewhere around here. He was a powerful spellcaster and kept demons as slaves within the sanctuary. He kept a close eye on great events too, such as the imprisonment of Baal within Tal Rasha's tomb. If you could find Horizon's sanctuary, I'm sure that it would hold some clue as to the tomb's location. Though I doubt Horizon is still alive, you must proceed with caution. There's no telling what could be waiting inside. When I spoke of this with Lord Jaren, he asked that I send you to him. Perhaps he knows of a secret entrance or the like. Lysander is harmless enough. We keep each other company with our mutual interests, yet I don't think he could handle the enormity of our present situation.
Drognan's a mystery to me. Then again, I never did trust mages much. If you're going into the deep desert, why not hire a few of my men to watch your back?
It takes but one eye to revel in the beauty of our restored sun. That Lysander's a grumpy old cuss. You'd better not disturb him while he's working on his potions, or boom, you could get blasted to the moon. So, you're going to search for the 7 tombs, huh? Don't you know that they're just desert legends, passed between merchants and travelers? No one really believes that they exist.
I've traded my potions to Wareve many times. Yes, they seem to fetch a good price in the Western lands. Oh, Claw Vipers are fond of magical artifacts. Did you happen to find one in their temple? When Tal Rasha chose to embody the spirit of Baal, he knew his doom was to wrestle eternally against the will of the greater evil. Look around you and ask yourself, has the battle been won or lost?
With renewed daylight, one may gather the wits that were scattered about like restrictive undergarments in the darkness. Be very careful, my friend. I think I've seen enough recently not to doubt that these tombs exist, and if they do, they are most certainly guarded by terrible creatures.
The sun again shines on Lut Gholein. I'm beginning to like you, traveler. When you arrived, Wariv's caravan had been long overdue. With all of the evil that's arisen in the land, I'm surprised he got through it all. When the troubles began here, I allowed the terrified harem guilds to join me within the safety of the palace. All was fine until one night. Screams echoed up the stairwells from the harem. My guards arrived to find the poor girls being slaughtered by a merciless band of hell-spawned demons. My brave guardsmen tried to push the demons back into the mysterious rift from which they came. Ever since, my men have fought a losing battle. Demons have continued to pour through the rift into the palace. Ultimately, I hired Grays and his mercenaries to help protect the rest of my fair city. Drognin believes that the arcane sanctuary lies buried underneath this palace, since Lut Gholein occupies the site of an ancient Viserai fortress. My palace is open to you now. Take care.
You may enter the palace.
This was not designed by nature's architect. Finally. Now I can leave this twisted nightmare.
Seekers of the tomb of Tal Rasha will find it through the portal. But know that the glowing glyphs recorded here in my arcane sanctuary are the signs of the 6 false tombs. The missing 7th sign marks the tomb of Tal Rasha. Of the Horadrim, he might be called the Foremost. It was a shining but brief moment for the mage clans when they set aside their differences and worked together against the common enemy. The Horadrim relentlessly pursued the 3 across the desolate empires of the east and even into the uncharted lands of the west, leaving the Archangel Tyrael's hands unblemished. Presuming the 3 to be vanquished, the Horadrim's unstable fellowship began to dissipate. Abandoning their sacred charge to safeguard the 3 soul stones, the disparate mage clans began to squabble amongst each other over petty differences. Their conflicts not only dissolved their brotherhood, but strengthened the evils which they had buried beneath the cold earth.
So, now we know Jaren's little secret. Well, I guess I can see why he wanted me to stay, though. I'm just glad it didn't come to that. Now he tells me to wait some more, in case you need to get out of here. Well, for you, I'll do it. Maybe they'll mention me in the epic ballads, eh? I've been all around the seas in these parts. It's dangerous sailing west this time of year, though. Until the season changes, the caravan through the desert is the main trade route to Westmarch.
Oh, Lysander is cranky, but he's a good old man. He used to give me medicines when my son was ill. You're more the hero than I could have dreamed. Perhaps there is hope for us after all.
Ha! I wish Jaren would have let me in the palace. I would have saved those girls and kicked demon ass back to the fire pits of hell. The way I see it, well, it's all pretty blurry. Oh, I'd go with you to those tombs, but, I don't like all that living dead stuff.
I hope that this false summoner found peace in death. Unfortunately, it is more likely that he will be dragged down into hell by the demons he was bound to. Let this be a lesson to you. Demonic magic is a quick path, but its powers are seductive and deadly. Excellent! You have a Horadric staff. Carry it with you into Tal Rasha's tomb. Find within the tomb the chamber whose floor is inset with the circle of 7 symbols. Place the staff into the receptacle you find there. That will open the secret passage into Tal Rasha's burial chamber. But be prepared for a fight. You'll likely have to kill Tal Rasha to destroy Baal. Diablo nears his goal. We have little time to lose. Remember, my friend, that Andariel gave herself willingly to Diablo's cause. It would be prudent to assume that the other evils will attempt to aid their master as well. You must move quickly now, friend, for Diablo is undoubtedly close to finding what he seeks. Find the tomb of Tal Rasha before he frees the Lord of Destruction.
I feel no pity for that would-be summoner. His terrible ambition for demonic power was his undoing. You merely hastened the inevitable. Atma is a good, loving woman, but I fear she will succumb to her despair and hatred. Faith is stronger than any armor. The shield will protect the body, but faith will strengthen the courageous heart. Legend has it that Tal Rasha lies imprisoned within his tomb, forever struggling to keep the Lord of Destruction bound. His was a selfless act, although perhaps foolhardy.
So, Horizon's been dead for some time. I take it you at least found what you were looking for.
The Horadrim were a powerful order, although maybe too prideful. Tal Rasha was one of their order, and that should tell you something. Any man who believes himself strong enough to contain one of the prime evils is in for a rude awakening, I should think. Larger forces are moving inexorably towards us. You must now make haste to the tombs.
Horizon's urinal? Oh, journal. Yes, well, glad you found it. Such a shame about those poor harem girls, huh? I shall miss them deeply. I mean, their conversations, of course. Such is always the fate of those who meddle with evil. When Tal Rasha chose to embody the spirit of Baal, he knew his doom was to wrestle eternally against the will of the greater evil. Look around you and ask yourself.
Well, the news going around town is very unsettling. Apparently, we were in more danger than anyone thought. Good work, friend. You may have saved all our skins. That old desert fox L6 is as crafty as they come. Years back, he made off with a small fortune of my caravan's wares. I certainly never expected to see him so domesticated. I guess you'll be heading to the tombs now. I hear that they're in the deepest desert regions.
The demonic force that was emanating from the corrupted sanctuary has dissipated. I thank you greatly for your help. Now we can look to rebuilding our lives. All will be for nothing, though, if you do not stop the greater evil which is rapidly gaining ground. It is well known that there are 7 great Horadric tombs hidden beneath the sands in the furthest reaches of the desert. One of them surely must be Tal Rasha's prison. You must explore each of the tombs to find Tal Rasha's exact location. Of course, Diablo is searching for the tomb as well. No one can guess as to what terrors he has unleashed in his search. I thank you for your heroic aid. I'm also glad that you found something you were looking for. The journal should help you find the true tomb of Tal Rasha. Hopefully there is still time to get there before Diablo. Go now, and good luck.
These Horadric markings are mysterious. Aha! So, Talrasha, this is your resting place.
Looking for Baal. I am your doom. I am your doom.
I thank you, mortal, for my freedom. But I did expect you earlier. I am the Archangel Tyrion. I came here to prevent Diablo from freeing his brother Baal. But I have failed. Now terror and destruction roam free throughout your world. Even now, they head towards the eastern capital of Kurast, to the very heart of the Zakarum Temple. There they hope to find their eldest brother, Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, who was imprisoned there ages ago. If the three prime evils unite, they will be invincible. Though it is unclear as to what their aims are, it is certain that they must be stopped at all costs. I am broken, and the energies that tie me to this world are diminishing rapidly. You must take up this quest and prevent the three brothers from reuniting. You must cross the sea and search for Diablo and Baal in Kurast. Now, hurry, mortal. Time is running out for all of us.
You're more the hero than I could have dreamed. Perhaps there is hope for us after all. You have proven to be the greatest of heroes, and I am honored to call you friend. Thank you for bringing peace to our lives again. Geglash may seem like a sot, but he's a brave man. All this trouble has driven him to drinking more than his usual.
Hey! I've got no time for old alchemists. Lysander would be completely useless in a real fight. You're an inspiration, and such a hero that it makes me look twice as bad. You're okay. Hey, just save some glory for us little guys, huh?
This is a serious setback. It is most unfortunate that Talrasha has been consumed by Baal's destructive influence. There are many secrets known to the Horadrim which could be used by Baal against us. You must travel east by sea to Kurast and stop Diablo and Baal before they free their eldest brother Mephisto. The lands of the Eastern Empire are not the same as they used to be. There's been little word for some time. Speed is of the essence. Go quickly, my friend. May the fates smile on you.
This is terrible news. Baal is in possession of one of mankind's most powerful mages, and the Lord of Terror guides his path. They must be stopped. for I am sure they mean to free their elder brother Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, who lies imprisoned under the corrupted city of Kurast. I fear you are walking into a great evil, but your faith can save you. May you walk in the light always.
The Archangel Tyrael was the one who gave the Soul Stones to the Horodrum 260 years ago. It is highly unusual for the forces of heaven to so directly interfere with man's destiny. But Tyrael was said to act of his own volition. We have never been able to discern why. Perhaps he goes against the consensus of heaven because he doubts our ability to defend ourselves. Or perhaps he sees more threat than his peers. Where the actions of hell often seem straightforwardly bent on destruction, the motives of heaven are unfathomable. Now make haste. Both Diablo and Baal must be stopped before they join with their brother Mephisto. If the three prime evils unite once again, the world as we know it will be no more.
I'm sorry things didn't turn out as you had hoped. Go and remember us fondly. You know, you bothered me far less than most.
Never fear, my friend. You did the best you could. I suspect that Diablo and Baal are now heading east towards Kurast. You will find them. I know you will.
You have done very well. Few could have come this far, let alone discover the true tomb of Tal Rasha. Unfortunately, I hear that Diablo and Baal have eluded your grasp. This is most unfortunate. If you wish to travel east, I have authorized Mashif to give you passage by sea. I imagine he should be very anxious to leave by now. Good luck on your quest, and thank you again for saving my beloved city. You will always be welcome in Lut Gholein, my friend.
You make me long for the days of glory, when I had both hands, both eyes, and more of a foot. I heard that Diablo has managed to best you, at least for the time being. I hope you catch up with him soon, and send him back to hell for good.
I've heard that your foe got away from you this time. Well, look at it this way. You've got the demons on the run. If you're going to be leaving then, well, thanks for your help. I might spare you a few of my men. Why, enough gold can muster an army.
Jaren tells me I should take you east to Kurast. I haven't been there for several years, but rumor has it things are pretty grim. My companion drew in the dank, cold air of the tomb. It seemed to strengthen him. I stood in the doorway between light and dark. What was left of my sanity implored me not to enter. But that voice was just a whisper now. As we worked our way down, deeper and deeper into the crypt, I began to see a change in my companion. He seemed to be gaining strength. I could hardly see in the gloom, but my companion seemed to know the way. We came at last to a great hall. It was then I realized my companion hadn't been gaining strength. He had been losing what was left of his humanity. He moved with demonic speed, and then you appeared.
Stop! The beast contained herein shall not be set free, not even by you. Go to the Temple of Light in the eastern city of Karas. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you. You must find the courage to step through that gate, Maris. Take the stone you hold to the Hellforge, where it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run!
Welcome to Karas, traveler. Few come willingly to this ancient city anymore. I hope you brought your wits with you, for sanity is in short supply here. My name is Hratli. I am a sorcerer skilled in metalwork. It'd be a pleasure to help you. I don't have many customers these days. As you can see, the populace has been brutally decimated by the forces of Mephisto. The canals run red with blood, and demons roam the land. The wretched jungle hell has already reclaimed much of Karast. The only safety you'll find is here at the dockside, where a magical warding holds the jungle evils at bay. But I don't know how long it will last. To make matters worse, the children of Zakharum are in league with the forces of Mephisto. The Zakharum have concentrated their power in the temple city of Travancore, located within Karas deep in the jungle wilderness. It's true, their zeal is unmatched, but I say the so-called warriors of light are nothing more than the twisted puppets of a hidden hand. I trust you already know Mashif, but did you know that he was born and raised here? I suspect that, like many of us, his spirit is near broken at the sight of Karas' decline. Only our brand of gallows humor saves us from utter despair.
Well, I gave you my word and brought you here as promised. But by all that's still holy, I wish I'd never returned to this accursed place. This fetid jungle can't be the fair Kurast I left behind. I don't know what all this evil is, my friend, but it's obvious that you must stop it. I only pray that you can before the jungle consumes the last vestiges of my beloved homeland.
I shouldn't have boasted so much about Kurost on the journey here. Oh, much has changed since I left.
I've not set foot in glorious Kurost for many years, but I never would have imagined it could be so corrupted. Certainly this must be Mephisto's work. You'd best get going, my friend. Diablo and Baal are still out there, and you must find them. Ormus would like you to think him mad. Better to watch his actions than listen to his words.
You now speak to Ormus. He was once a great mage, but now lives like a rat in a sinking vessel. You have questions for Ormus, and doubt in yourself. Ormus sees a strange dichotomy in you, as he does in all would-be heroes. Speak to him, and he may grant you wisdom in turn, or turn from him and seek wisdom in thyself. Deckard Cain, Ormus has no time for the last son of the Horadrim. Pride led that holy order to failure.
Hello there. You must be a great adventurer to risk coming here. My name's Ashira, and I lead the mercenary band of mages known as the Iron Wolves. We've been hunting down demons in the jungle for months, but no matter how many of them we kill, they just keep coming. Seems this whole place has been overrun by evil. Rumor has it that you've come here to help. If that's true, then I'll let you hire some of my mercenaries. But be careful. If you piss them off, they can be worse than those monsters out in the jungle. Arali thinks he's so funny. The other day he said, "Ashira, I don't recognize you without that big gash on your face."
Damn it! I wish you people would just leave me alone. Oh, you're new here, aren't you? I am Alcor the Alchemist. I dabble in potions and salves, and I can sell you some if you really need them. But don't make a habit of coming here. I don't like to be disturbed while I'm studying. You came here with Meshif? That old tour guide to the stupid? I'm surprised you made it here in one piece.
Greetings, hero. I've heard of your exploits and, I'm quite impressed. Very few mortals are capable of dealing with the three and their minions as you have. My name is Natalia. I am a hunter of evil, part of an ancient order sworn to hunt down corrupted sorcerers. If I could, I would gladly join your quest to stop the three, but I must wait here for further news. I can't predict what will happen, but the danger is greater than we can know. Until I receive my orders, I'll assist you with the information I have. Hrotley is a master craftsman. My order could make use of one with his unique skills.
Looks like jade. Perhaps it's worth something.
Back in Lut Gholein, Meshif told me he had a fondness for jade figurines. On his trading voyages, he collected an odd assortment of such small statues. I would show him your figurine.
Praise you. That jade figurine will complete the set I was collecting. Here, I've had this statuette of a golden bird for years, but I consider it a fair exchange. Hrotley seems to be the only one left here with any common sense. Yet how sensible is it to remain here?
I've read legends about a sage named Kuile, who studied the mysteries of life beyond death. If I remember correctly, his ashes were ensconced within a golden statuette. It was a very strange tale.
The golden bird of Guile? Thank you, my friend. Busy yourself while I experiment with the ashes within it. Then return and see what I've made for you. I have never claimed that you'd live forever after trying one of my potions. Merely that you might look as though you had.
Alcor is able to explain things much more clearly than Ormus. Ormus remembers the tale of Kuile. That venerable sage forgot that there is no life beyond death. There is only life. Once prolonged unnaturally, it can become a living hell.
Ashira leads the mercenary company known as the Iron Wolves. You can hire some of them, but many are occupied securing the dockside.
From the ashes of Guile, I have mixed for you a potion.
Never forget that your ultimate purpose here in Kurast is to destroy Mephisto. The ancient Horadrim imprisoned the Lord of Hatred inside the Guardian Tower that is located within the temple city of Travancore. Know this, friend. The only way to gain entry to Mephisto's prison is to destroy the artifact known as the Compelling Orb. Mephisto used this device to control the Zakarum priests and their followers. The orb can only be destroyed with an ancient flail imbued with the spirit of the one incorruptible priest. Soon after his imprisonment, Mephisto worked his evil corruption on the Zakarum priesthood. All were turned to his dark ways, save one, Kalim, the K-Hagen of the High Council. Mephisto directed the other council priests to slay and dismember Kalim, and then scatter his remains across the kingdom. The priest Sankakur succeeded Kalim as K-Hagen, eventually becoming the embodiment of Mephisto here on the mortal plane. The corrupted High Council fashioned an orb to control the rest of the Zakarum faithful, and used their powers to hide the lair of their master from mortals. Your task is to collect the scattered relics of Kalim, his heart, his brain, and his eye. Then, using the Horadric Cube, transmute Kalim's flail with his relics. Once this is accomplished, you must destroy the Compelling Orb with Kalim's will to open the way into the corrupt sanctum of Mephisto. Kalim's eye. Only it can reveal the true path to Mephisto. Place the eye in the Horadric Cube along with Kalim's other relics, the heart, the brain, and the flail. Seeing his homeland in such a state must be horrifying to Meshif. I'm surprised he's willing to remain here in order to help you. Who could have foreseen that the old religion would play such an effective role in our war against the Three? Again, your efforts amaze me, my friend.
You have done well, noble hero. Ormus congratulates you. The old spirits of Skatsim will watch over you for returning their sacred blade. Now, after all these years, Ormus will once again use his powers to protect the innocent from the shadow. The spell that protects the dark side shall now be reinforced. This magic ring does me no good. Here, wear it proudly.
This is most fortunate. Khalim's brain knows Mephisto's weakness. Place it in the Horadric cube along with Khalim's other relics. The eye, the heart, and the flail.
Ratley suspects that Ormus is a mage. He can suspect whatever he wants. Ormus will not show him the true magic.
If you're planning to carry on your wild ways here, you may need the assistance of Ashira's Iron Wolf mercenaries. With any luck, the spirits of Skatsim will grant us revenge upon the powers that ravaged this land.
Now that fewer of the Iron Wolves are needed to guard the dockside, some of them have volunteered to accompany you free of charge. O'Reilly may be a bit too clever for his own good. Still, I'd trust his work anytime.
I keep a library of tomes. Heretical, exegetical, hermeneutical, and pharmaceutical.
My order has been keeping watch over Ormus for many years now. He seems to champion the cause of good, but who knows what shadow lurks within his soul.
If you are another follower of Zakarum, I've told you people before, I don't want your towering spire or anything else you have to sell.
You have found Khalim's heart, and it still bears the courage to face Mephisto. Place it in the Horadric cube along with Khalim's other relics. The eye, the brain, and the flail. Ashira seems like a very tough woman. I'd be careful around her if I were you.
For one who spends so much time away from home, Meshif has taken Kurast's corruption the hardest.
The jungle can take you down fast. Try to avoid getting trapped out there if you can.
It pains me to waste time with you, so I'll get right to the point. There is a very special book which you must find for me. It was written long ago by a sage known as Lam Essen, who studied Skatsimi magic and the effects of the prime evils on the mortal world. The Black Book was lost when the children of Zakarum took over this land. Now you must reclaim it without delay. Its knowledge may aid us in this dark time ahead. The Black Book contains powerful secrets of Skatsim, the old religion long eclipsed by Zakarum. I should warn you, the Black Book is much sought after by both good and evil. Be wary.
The Black Book is a powerful source of information. The Zakarum will do everything in their power to stop you from obtaining it.
I've heard of the Black Book. My order's code is based on many of its passages. If you find it, I will be greatly impressed.
We have long sought the Black Book of Lam Essen. Rumors of its whereabouts spread as fast as jungle plagues. If you find it, take it to Elcor.
Aha. An ancient manuscript. This could be useful. Ormus, study the book well.
You have found the book. It should give all of us here some insight into the nature of the prime evils. Ah, but as for you... Oh, Ashira's a good customer. She buys a portion of manliness from me every week.
You have found a source of information powerful enough to turn the tide against the Zakarum.
So, you've returned with the book. You surprise me. You must be very resourceful.
Within the temple city stands a tower built long ago by the Horadrim to imprison the... Well, you'll discover more about it soon enough.
This temple is a nest of evil. At last, there is hope once again.
Once properly imbued, Khalim's flail can destroy the compelling orb and reveal the way to Mephisto. Place it into the Horadric cube along with Khalim's relics, his heart, his brain, and his eye. Then transmute them to carry out Khalim's will. Ridding Kurast of the Council of Zakarum was essential. Still, there is more you must do. The compelling orb, too, must be destroyed. Diablo and Baal must be close to finding their brother Mephisto by now. You've no time to waste. Judging from his dress and strange markings, I would guess that Ormus is from the ancient Tarn mage clan. Yet none of the others here seem to know that he is a sorcerer. The Tarn were once as powerful as the Bejerai clan, but their studies were even more secretive. I wonder what he's hiding.
Diablo and Baal have surely found the Temple City by now. They seek to free their brother, Mephisto, who was imprisoned by the Horadrim in the Temple's Guardian Tower. You must reach him before his brothers do, and prevent them from releasing hatred upon the world. Ashira is both proud and self-conscious of her womanhood. Ormus is grateful to you, stranger. You have broken the long, dark reign of Zakarum and delivered the first paralyzing blow against the three. Yet still the true test lies ahead. For he whom the Council guarded still lives within the blackened tower. Make haste. Though the three are sure to reunite, it is uncertain as to what they have planned once they do. Be cautious, my friend. Though you are mighty, no mortal can stand alone against the power of the prime evils.
Trying to get information out of Ormus is like straining water from a rock. His damned riddles are almost as confusing as our current state of affairs. It seems the jungle is already dying back. You've broken the curse, my friend. May the light bless you. Be careful when you return to the tower. Though many of the followers of Zakarum have fled, there's no telling what horrors still lurk inside it.
The Iron Wolves and I have made a good living around here lately. The sun has set on the religion of light. I sent a few of my Iron Wolves on a scouting mission into the jungle near the Temple City. They encountered 2 cloaked men who attacked them with horrifying powers. My men barely survived. I have to assume that the 2 strangers are Diablo and Baal. You better hurry. They're close to finding their brother.
I hope you don't object to my badgering the witless. You've accomplished the impossible. By killing the council, the curse of Zakarum will be lifted, and our land will be free. Oh, thank you. The hidden ways of the tower are long forgotten, though it is rumored to have been built as far below the ground as above it.
I can hardly believe you did it. Your power blankets you like a shining aura. Now you rush to face Mephisto. Don't give in to your hatred. That is his greatest weapon against you.
Alcor is a potion dealer, given over to a life steeped in ceaseless study and dissipation. The followers of Zakarum lacked all sense of moderation. The collapse of their tainted religion gives me hope. Mephisto, along with Baal, was originally captured in the desert near Lut Gholein. But imprisoning 2 of the brothers together was far too dangerous. The Horadrim built the Guardian Tower to hold Mephisto. When Zakarum came to power in this land, it took over the Temple City without paying any heed to what was locked within the tower, and it became their doom.
Masterfully done, hero. You have crafted Khalim's will. Employ it to destroy the compelling orb and open the way to Mephisto. May the true light guide your way. Search the tower thoroughly. Mephisto must not escape.
I understand that the great patriarch of Zakarum, Sankakur, now embodies Mephisto. You must overcome hatred, lest terror and destruction claim us all.
I went to speak with old Alcor, but I disturbed his studies. He doesn't seem to like visitors. I ought to return to the ship. We may have to sail from here very quickly.
The sudden reduction in our ranks makes us eager to destroy Diablo and his brothers. Vengeance for the Iron Wolves.
Well, the good news is that events are unfolding just as Lam Essen foretold. The bad news is that the story ends in our utter ruin.
I've heard the name of Deckard Cain many times. He's the last of the Horadrim, and thus I must honor him. You must be powerful indeed if one such as he accompanies you. Beware, my friend. Sankakur may be the most powerful mortal in the world. He controls thousands of fanatical worshippers and embodies the Lord of Hatred himself. His death will be no easy task.
Why build a tower to place the beast below ground? At times, I believe the Horadrim lacked common sense.
What is that? Hatred stirs within me.
You're too late. My brothers have escaped you. You're too late.
Mephisto's hatred was a poisonous void.
Our faith in you was well deserved, but Diablo has made his way to hell, and it is likely that Baal followed him there. Enter the infernal gate and kill the Lord of Terror before all is lost. Only then will our world be saved.
You have defeated the primeval in combat. Ormus is impressed beyond words. But staying here will not end this conflict. You must enter the infernal gate and stop Diablo once and for all.
Ah, now Kurast can begin the task of rekindling its former glory. I thank you.
Well done, my friend. You are a great champion of order. Please consider yourself an honorary Iron Wolf.
Your news is great indeed. You have saved us all. I would smile, but I'm afraid my face might collapse.
This Cain, whom you brought with you, he has a bearing of great power, yet I sense no magic about him. He is an enigma to me. It looks like you're going to hell before me. Put in a good word.
I did as you told me, Tyrael. I found the temple of the Zakarum. In the deepest recesses of the temple, I found a dark gathering. My companion, the Wanderer, Talrasha, and a great evil who could only be the Lord of Hatred himself, Mephisto. I heard a voice that, like 1,000 needles in my heart.
My brothers, at long last we stand reunited. The infernal gate has been prepared, and the time of our final victory is at hand. Let the way to hell be opened. And the evil that was once vanquished shall rise anew. Wrapped in the guise of man shall he walk amongst the innocent, and terror shall consume they that dwell upon the earth. The skies shall rain fire, and the seas will become as blood. The righteous shall fall before the wicked, and all creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell.
What I saw then was not meant for mortal eyes.
The gate stands ready. Now, my young brother, the
time has come to assume your true form. Arise, Diablo, Lord of Terror. You are a harbinger of our return, Diablo. Send forth your terror into hell.
The time has come for you to destroy Mephisto's Soul Stone. Take the stone to the Hell Forge. Place it upon the forge, and strike it soundly with the hammer. Only by doing this can you prevent Mephisto from manifesting in this world ever again. I have read much about the enigmatic Archangel Tyrael. He was revered in Horadrim lore, both for his compassion for mortals and his unquenchable spirit. It was rumored that he went against the wishes of heaven and gave the Horadrim the original Soul Stones in order to trap Diablo and his brothers.
It is good to see you again, hero. Mephisto's defeat is a great victory for the light. I knew that you would eventually find your way here. The Pandemonium Fortress is the last bastion of heaven's power before the gates of the burning hells. This place has been hallowed by the blood of thousands of champions of the light, many of whom were mortal like yourself. Now, the final battle against the prime evils draws near, and you must face it alone. I have been forbidden to aid you directly, save for a few bits of wisdom. For this is the hour of mortal man's triumph. Your triumph. May the light protect you, and the powers of heaven shine upon your path. There is a dark, tortured soul who was trapped within this forsaken realm long ago. He was called Iswal by mortal men, and in ages past he was my most trusted lieutenant. Yet, against my wishes, he led an ill-fated assault upon the fiery Hellforge itself. Despite his valor and strength, Iswal was captured by the prime evils and twisted by their perverse power. They forced him to betray his own kind and give up heaven's most guarded secrets. He became a corrupt shadow of his former self, a fallen angel, trusted neither by heaven nor hell. For his transgressions, Iswal's spirit was bound within the form of a terrible creature, which was summoned from the abyss. His maddened spirit has resided within that tortured husk for many ages now. It seems to me that he has suffered long enough. I implore you, hero, find Iswal and release him from his cruel imprisonment. Put an end to his guilt and suffering. Long ago, I swore an oath to watch over the Horadrim and their descendants. As Deckard Cain is the last of their esteemed order, I will not allow him to perish here so far from the lands of his birth. Be at ease, hero. I know that he is your friend. He shall come to no harm.
Tyrael was a fool to have trusted me. You see, it was I who told Diablo and his brothers about the Soul Stones and how to corrupt them. It was I who helped the Prime Evils mastermind their own exile to your world. The plan we set in motion so long ago cannot be stopped by any mortal agency. Hell itself is poised to spill forth into your world like a tidal wave of blood and nightmares. You and all your kind are doomed.
You're lucky to be alive, my friend. It is imperative that you find and stop Diablo. You should speak of this with Tyrael. He will know what to make of this.
Thank you, hero, for putting Iswol's tortured spirit to rest. May the light protect you and the powers of heaven shine upon your path. But if what you tell me is true, then I fear that we have been played for fools all along. Iswol helped Diablo and his brothers trick me into using the Soul Stones against them. Now the Stones' powers are corrupted. With the combined powers of the Soul Stones under their control, the Prime Evils will be able to turn the mortal world into a permanent outpost of hell.
Halt! Before venturing into Diablo's lair, go to the Hellforge with Mephisto's Soul Stone. Place the stone on the Hellforge, and use the Hellforge hammer to destroy it. Your soul shall fuel the Hellforge.
Congratulations, hero! Surely even Diablo himself sensed the fury unleashed when you smashed his brother's soul stone.
Time has come to hunt down and destroy Diablo himself. But beware, the Lord of Terror is not to be underestimated. He single-handedly destroyed the town of Tristram and corrupted the last noble hero who tried to stop him. This time, you must defeat him for good. Only by destroying the Soul Stone which he carries will his spirit be banished forever. Good luck. Though this be our darkest hour, it may yet be your greatest moment.
Proceed, hero, into Terror's lair. Know that Diablo's innermost sanctum is hidden by 5 seals. Only by opening each of these seals can you clear your way to the final battle. death can save you from me.
I knew there was great potential in you, my friend. You've done a fantastic job. Though my ancestors often struggled against the three evils and their minions, I've always lived a shut-in, scholarly life. I'm glad that my wisdom aided you. Now, I wish to leave this place. Though heaven's gates are a marvel to behold, I hope I won't have to see them again for many, many years. Please, talk to Tyrael about leaving this place now.
Praise be to the light. You have accomplished the impossible. Diablo and Mephisto have been banished back into the black abyss that spawned them, and the corrupted soul stones are no more. However, while you were fighting here, Baal remained behind in the mortal realm, building an army of hellish minions. Now Baal's army is searching for the World Stone, the ancient source of all the soul stones and their power, while leaving behind a wake of destruction. They have forged deeply into the barbarian homelands, heading directly for the summit of Mount Ariyat. Baal knows, mortal hero. That is the very site of the blessed World Stone. Now, enter the portal I have opened for you. It will take you to the barbarian city of Harrogath, the last bastion of order on the slopes of Ariyat.
I heard later that he was defeated. And that the Soul Stones were destroyed in Hellforge. All except one.
Oh, I failed, Tyrael. I couldn't do as you asked. I couldn't enter that gate. Forgive me, Tyrael. Forgive me.
Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven. Give it to me, Marius.
Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael. Look what the stone has done to me.
You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do. However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael.
There. No. No, no, no.
You have done well, Marius. Now I think you shall have your reward.
What have I done to deserve?
Baal! The gates of Sescheron have stood for eons beyond remembrance, and you shall not breach them now. Remove your foul demons from our lands. We stand on the side of light. You shall not be allowed to reach Mount Ariat, and that which you seek will not be yours.
Enough! Enough!
I shall take your position into consideration. Well, it seems your terms are not acceptable.
I am amazed to find this place so untouched. Everything else in the path of Baal, the Lord of Destruction, lies in ruin. These barbarians must indeed be the legendary guardians of Mount Ariat. They are a proud, hardy people. Don't expect to be greeted warmly. Strangers here rarely are. Perhaps I can gain their trust. I'll spend some time with the townsfolk and try to understand them better. I'll let you know what I discover.
Well, well. The siege has everything in short supply, except fools. Why would you seek this place, stranger? Are you a vulture come to loot the bodies of our fallen warriors? Regardless, this is no place to make a name for yourself. The mountain is ours to protect. It is only a matter of time before Hell's legions are routed. Qualkek is useless. He has blindly sent our warriors to their deaths, assuming Baal's legions would fight as men do. Of course, everyone knows they do not.
A druid in Aragath. Have things truly come to this? After the Mage Wars, I assumed druids would never be seen in Aragath again. You take a big chance coming here. To be honest, I have never been comfortable with your shape-shifting kind, but I do respect your search for balance and peace. So if you trust us enough to enter our gates, I trust you enough to let you stay. I am Qualkek, the senior man-at-arms of Aragath. You have the look of a warrior. An extra soldier will be useful, but don't expect anyone to mourn if you get yourself killed. Baal is true to his namesake. He has ravaged through our lands like a merciless plague. The protective ward laid down by our lost elders helps hold the evil at bay. But Baal's siege has taken its toll all the same. Most of my men are now dead. Others are trapped in the mountain passes. But I swear we are not beaten yet. We will fight to the end to protect this mountain. The death of Mala's son was a great tragedy. He was our finest archer. While leading a successful campaign against Baal's forces, he was impaled on a demon's spear. The wound was such that, well, even Mala herself acknowledges that quick death was a blessing.
I, Mala, welcome you to Harrogath, the last stronghold of order on Mount Ariat. You have come to the right place if you intend to defeat Baal, the Lord of Destruction. Baal has laid waste to our mountain and its denizens. His minions continue to attack our town, while Qualkek and his men have proven helpless to stop them. Baal is still out on the mountain looking for something, but I know not what. All of the elders, save Nilathak, sacrificed themselves to place a protective ward around Harrogath. Some of us here, certainly Nilathak, do not appreciate your presence. We are a proud people, and it is not easy for us to accept aid. I, however, am glad you are here. If you need healing or a potion, please come to me. See Lazuk for weapons, armor, and repairs. Nilathak, despite his disposition, may be of some assistance with other wares. Finally, Qualkek, our man-at-arms, leads Harrogath's remaining forces against Baal. Be cautious, warrior. Though I am an experienced healer, resurrection is beyond my powers.
I am Larzik, the armorer. My ancestors were some of the finest craftsmen in Harrogath. Regretfully, my supplies run lower with every passing day, yet the demons beyond the walls have not weakened. I fear the time is near when I must put down my hammer and take up a sword instead. Has that infernal howling been keeping you awake at night too? Some think it's the howling of animals, but those sounds don't come from any beast I've ever known. If you're here to defeat Baal, you must prove it. As we speak, Harrogath is under siege by Baal's demons. Catapults rain death just outside the town walls. Baal himself travels up the sacred mountain, having left in charge here one of his most vicious generals, Shank the Overseer. A ruthless taskmaster, he lashes his own minions into suicidal frenzies on the battlefield. If you wish to prove yourself to us, destroy the monster Shank that commands those infernal catapults outside Harrogath. If you manage to do this, return to me.
The catapults have been silenced.
You're an even greater warrior than I expected. Sorry for underestimating you. As a token of my appreciation, I will craft sockets into an item of your choosing. And from now on, you'll get the best price for all my wares. I've offered Qualkek my ideas on how to break the siege, but he dismisses them. Is it because I lack scars of battle? Or does he think I'm a couple arrows short of a quiver?
All users of the magical arts know of Mount Ariat, but few understand its true nature. It is the nexus of an unfathomable magic. It bodes ill that the Lord of Destruction races to its summit with such purpose. I fear for the whole world, should Baal gain what he seeks.
My concerns have turned to my men taken prisoner on the battlefield by Baal's demons. I hate to think what's happened to them. As you journey up the mountain, keep your eyes open for my soldiers and bring them back to me if you can. Larzik is a talented blacksmith, but his head is full of some strange ideas. Just the other day, he came to me with a plan to break the siege. He wanted to fill large pipes with exploding powders and steel balls. Then, well, like I said, strange.
The Council of Elders always believed itself prepared for the coming of the three. Obviously, we were not prepared enough. You have proven you can take life, warrior, but can you save it as well?
Qualkek's men have been in prison for some time. They are certain to be tired and weak. You must protect them once you free them.
I crafted the swords and armor for Qualkek's men. They were like brothers to me. I can't imagine the pain they must be suffering. Save them if you can.
Thank you for rescuing my men. They have spoken well of your bravery in battle. Perhaps there is hope for us after all. If you wish, you may hire some of my mercenaries that you saved. And please, take this set of runes. I had been saving them for a socketed shield, but I think you'll make better use of them. Be sure to set them in the right order for their fullest effect. This is unlike any battle I have ever fought. While we ration food and water, the demon hordes feast nightly on the flesh and blood of our dead.
You've become a hero to this town, my friend. The shadows have lifted ever since you brought the light to Harrogath.
So, you've brought the lost sheep home to the shepherd. Well done.
There is a matter which I hesitate to share, but I believe you are the only one who can help me now. Anya, the young alchemist and daughter to one of our slain elders, has been missing for some time. She is a strong, crafty woman with a spirit like no other. One night, just before your arrival, I overheard her and Nilathak arguing about her father's death. The next morning, she was gone. Nilathak has his own tale as to where she went and why. Don't believe him. I fear he's at the root of her disappearance. Please, if you can, search for Anya and bring her back to us. She'll know what to do about Nilathak. This battle plays mind tricks on our warriors. Those fortunate enough to have returned from the mountainside claim to have seen angels in flight. Fly they might, but that certainly does not make them angels. You have inspired the people in this town, not only those you rescued, but those you've helped in other ways as well. When you talk to Nilathak, be careful. There is no telling what he will say or do.
Anya is an amazing alchemist, especially for her young age. As long as I've known her, she's never let anything stop her from pursuing what she believed in. I wouldn't doubt that Nilathak is involved. Ever since her father died, they haven't gotten along. Since your arrival, Cain has spoken of your deeds in the Southern Kingdoms, defeating both Mephisto and Diablo. At first I scoffed at his tales, but I'm finding them more believable with every passing day. Just so you know, the gold you pay me doesn't line my pockets. Much of it goes to buy the raw metal I need to melt down for weapons and armor. The rest, well, all I can spare, goes to Mala and Quelkick for other supplies.
Hero, Neelathak did this to me. If you've come to help me, my only hope lies with Mala. Please, tell her you've found me.
So, that snake Neelathak was behind Anya's disappearance, and he trapped her with a freezing curse. Here, take this potion to Anya and give it to her. That should release her. On the battlefield, turning your back on even the dead is unwise.
It is fortunate that this town has such a talented smith. The quality of Larzuk's work surely complements your skills. In fact, he would have been quite welcome amongst the Horadrim. Goodness, Anya frozen by that fallen barbarian Neelathak. Perhaps Mala can help you where I cannot.
The snake has slipped our grasp. While you were gone, Neelathak disappeared. I'll bet Anya knows how to track him down.
Poor Anya. I should have known Neelathak was a traitor. If you find him alive, kill him for me.
Thank you so much for bringing Anya back to us. I have devised this spell to increase your resistances as a token of my thanks. I know it isn't much, but I hope you find it helpful. Please, go talk to Anya. She has urgent news concerning Neelathak. I pray for the day when the fields are covered in snow, unstained by the blood of our own. Perhaps that day will come soon. Perhaps never. But I forget myself. How may I aid your quest? Neelathak was never the kindest man, but for him to betray the whole world, where shall his soul finally rest?
It is my belief that the Soul Stones are at the center of this conflict. If only that fool Marius had not intervened, Baal would still be imprisoned within Tal Rasha. Anya, such a fine example of feminine strength. She reminds me of the Zakarum priestesses I knew in my youth. They don't take vows of chastity, you know. For one so young, Anya commands great respect. Now that she is here, I will make it a point to talk to her about Mount Ariat. You should do the same.
Your rescue of Anya was quite an accomplishment.
Demonic forces have been using our own towers and barricades against us. You know, it would be wise to cut the demons down in the open before they can mount those fortifications. I never liked Neelathak, but I never suspected that he'd betray us. I just can't understand how an elder could do such a thing.
You have proven yourself a true hero to me and my people. These are dark times, warrior. I hope you can bring an end to Baal's reign of destruction. Our Council of Elders is gone, my father Ost among them. The one thing that keeps us from total despair is the promise of vengeance against Baal. Thank you, hero, for rescuing me. To show my personal gratitude, I give you this. I had it custom made for you, by Larzuk. Neelathak told me he struck a deal with Baal to protect Haragath. In exchange for the demon's mercy, the misguided fool plans to give Baal the relic of the ancients, our most holy totem. Doing so will allow Baal to enter Mount Ariat unchallenged by the ancients. I tried to stop Neelathak, but he imprisoned me in that icy tomb.
Neelithak must be stopped before he dooms the whole world. As much as I would love to strangle the life out of him, I'm afraid I haven't the strength. You must go to his lair through this portal I've opened, kill him, and then bring back the relic of the ancients. Stop Neelithak from destroying what we have striven for eons to protect. Now that the elders are all dead, I don't know who will guide our people through this dark time. I was to be next in line after my father, but this burden is too great for me to shoulder alone. We are a people of strong blood. I shall do what I can, and let fate do the rest.
Neelithak, you can't hide from me.
You have no idea of the power you face. I shall keep my end of Baal's bargain. For my homeland! I will kill you.
Betrayer, you've reaped your reward.
You have stopped Neelithak, but he didn't have the relic. He must have already given it to Baal. Now Baal will not be tested when he reaches Ariat's summit. Damn Neelithak. I do thank you for trying, though. Please, allow me to honor your courage by magically inscribing your name onto an item of your choosing. It's the least I can do. I am truly glad you are here, warrior. Perhaps things would be different now if we had asked for assistance from the neighboring kingdoms. Our foolish, foolish pride. Our people believe that the ancients protecting Mount Ariat have the power to stop Baal. Unfortunately, the Lord of Destruction has shown great power to undermine our faith.
Every time I hear of you, warrior, your deeds become more legendary. But take heed, you are approaching the very summit of Mount Ariat. I have never dared venture there. It is sacred, our most holy place. The legends say it is guarded by the Ancient Ones, who block the path of all who are unworthy. Your reputation here does not matter. It will be the Ancients who determine your worthiness. Good luck. Harrogath has great need of your powers, noble druid. However, in the face of this supernatural onslaught, are your natural powers up to the task?
The angel Tyrael has watched over the guardians of Ariat throughout history. I do not believe that Baal and Tyrael have come to fight over a paltry few souls. They are here to settle a conflict as old as time itself. A test of mettle is a fitting rite of passage for a barbarian hero.
By reaching the summit, you cease being just a simple warrior. When you come back, you will be far more.
Legend has it that the top of Mount Ariat is guarded by the spirits of our ancestors. Though our people are forbidden to climb to the mountain's summit, some foreign travelers have made the attempt. None have ever returned. Every night, I've prayed to the ancients to bring us peace, and now you must fight them. Who shall I pray to now, warrior?
At last, the summit of Mount Ariat.
We are the spirits of the Nephilim, the Ancient Ones. We have been chosen to guard sacred Mount Ariat, wherein the world's stone rests.
Few are worthy to stand in its presence.
Fewer still can comprehend its true purpose.
Before you enter, you must defeat us.
You are a worthy hero.
We augment your skill
and grant you entry to the interior of Mount Ariat, wherein lies the world's stone.
Beware, you will not be alone.
Baal, the Lord of Destruction, is already inside. The Archangel Tyrael has always been our benefactor, but even he cannot help us now. For Baal blocks Tyrael's spiritual presence from entering the chamber of the World Stone. Only you, mortal, have the power to defeat Baal now. Baal threatens the World Stone, and through it, the mortal realm itself. You must stop him before he gains full control of the sacred stone. With it under his control, Baal could shatter the boundaries between this world and the burning hells, thus allowing the hordes of the primevals to pour forth into the mortal realm like an unstoppable tide. If you are weak, the world as you know it could be lost forever. You must not fail.
I knew the ancients would find you worthy of Mount Ariat's secrets. Now, stop Baal before he destroys all that is sacred. Perhaps you have heard the accounts of my son's horrible death at the hands of Baal's minions. He was my last living child. The oath of compassion I have taken as a healer extends only to humankind. Cut them down, warrior. All of them.
You have proven yourself to these people. They look to you as their warrior, their champion. Remember this. Baal once possessed Tal Rasha, one of the most powerful of the ancient Horodrim. Your battles with Mephisto and Diablo will pale in comparison to your battle with Baal, the Lord of Destruction, aided by Tal Rasha's knowledge. Oh, the mountain itself will tremble when you clash.
Besting the ancients in battle is a mighty feat indeed. I hope this means you're ready to battle Baal. Early on, parties of our best scouts were ambushed by demons that spawned from the very air around them. Survivors often mentioned a strange creature floating in the distance. Perhaps taking it down could prevent some nasty surprises. You have ventured to a place beyond legend. You rush to face an evil few can even imagine. Be careful, my friend, and may the light watch over you.
You stand before me a worthy hero, and on you rests the last hope of our people. Bear it well, warrior. Baal has blocked Tyrael from entering the Worldstone Chamber? This truly has become a battle against hell. Whether or not it was the heavens' decree, this is your fight now, your destiny. Our people believe that the ancients protecting Mount Arreat have the power to stop Baal. Unfortunately, the Lord of Destruction has shown great power to undermine our faith.
The ancients have honored you, and in turn, so do we. I have no remaining doubts about you now. I may be just an armorer, but I know this. Baal plans to destroy the world with the secrets contained in that mountain. It doesn't take a genius to know he has to be stopped.
Legendary Worldstone, guardian of the natural realm.
My brothers will not have died in vain. My brothers will not have died in vain. My brothers will not have died in vain.
Bale, join your brothers in oblivion.
I am impressed, Morton. You have overcome the greatest challenge this world has ever faced and defeated the last of the prime evils. However, we are too late to save the World Stone. Bale's destructive touch has corrupted it completely. Given enough time, the World Stone's energies will drain away and the barriers between the worlds will shatter. The powers of hell will flood into this sanctuary and eradicate your people and everything you've labored to build. Therefore, I must destroy the corrupted World Stone before the powers of hell take root. This act will change your world forever, with consequences even I cannot foresee. However, it is the only way to ensure mankind's survival. Go now, mortal. I have opened a portal that will lead you to safety. May the eternal light shine upon you and your descendants for what you've done this day. The continued survival of mankind is your legacy. Above all else, you have earned a rest from this endless battle.
The destruction of the World Stone does not bode well for our world, but I'll try not to worry. After all, we have warriors like you fighting for us and for the light. Farewell.
If Tyrael says the World Stone must be destroyed, then it must. We cannot let Baal's corruption prevail. The world will change, true. But who is to say it isn't for the better?
You have done the impossible, hero. Your defeat of the last of the three primevals is a great victory for the light. Strange that you say that the World Stone must be destroyed. The prophecies said nothing about that. Perhaps all we have fought for will be lost. Or perhaps we'll never need fight again.
The ancients themselves will envy our songs about you. Please, don't forget about us. Farewell, my friend. This is a lively town during our victory celebrations. We barbarians train long and hard from childhood to become warriors, and we celebrate with equal fervor. You didn't happen to bring along any ale to trade?